We are in a spiritual war, light against darkness. And I've been reading this book by Greg Braden, The Pure Human, and it really blew my mind when it started talking about the Dead Sea Scrolls and these scrolls that they found. And one of the scrolls was called the War Scroll. And this scroll, again, was suppressed by the Vatican. They didn't want the public to see this, okay? So in this scroll, it talks about there's 7 wars. 6 of the wars have already happened. 3, the darkness one, 3, the light one. And the 7th war, okay, is not a physical war. It's a spiritual war. It's a war for your consciousness, okay? And that is the war we're in right now. And many of us can see this, right? COVID was a huge awakening for people to see the shadow, the darkness on this planet that many people were just before that too busy to actually witness. It's a fascinating time for the people that have started to awaken, because you can see in the collective consciousness the people that are choosing to stay asleep. It's like literally a firewall that's there in their consciousness protecting them, okay? So any information that comes in and doesn't go with their belief system, and their belief system is the same as their identity, okay? That firewall just simply does not allow that information to come through. And if you try to persist in trying to get it through that firewall, they will lash out, they'll ridicule, they'll shame you, and they'll do all these things to try to protect their identity, okay? So that is one of the hardest things about waking up, is that you have to break through the illusion, and then you have to start to break down the actual ego. We can also see there's a huge attack on holistic health, right? You talk about empowering yourself, breaking free of the sick care system, and you will lose your channel, you'll be deplatformed like I was on TikTok. All of this stuff is going on. We can also see the toxins in the food, the fluoride in the water, all of this stuff done to suppress and calcify people's pineal glands so that they cannot spiritually awaken and see the truth in this world. And then there's the constant division, right? Keeping people divided so that they know if we come into unity consciousness, we will quickly evolve into much higher states of consciousness. So that division has been put through the news media, right? Things like Black Lives Matter, and we have religion, all this stuff that's constantly working on dividing the population. And then we have organized religion. I grew up in the Roman Catholic system, right? And it was very, very fear-based. Again, fear keeps people in a low frequency. Also very divided from God, right? You repent, you were born a sinner, these types of things. And then you have the flip side, you have the New Age movement, right? Which I dangled my toe in as well. And you can see that there, a lot of people too are outsourcing their powers, right? Channeling, doing all these things instead of going within and finding their truth and their divinity within themselves. They continue to go down these rabbit holes and look outside of themselves for the knowledge. And we can see that they've never taught us about intuition and discernment, how to cultivate this, okay? And it's absolutely critical on your spiritual journey that you learn discernment, because that will show you the truth through the lies and the manipulation very quickly. And what this book really goes deep into is us keeping our humanness, our divine connection to source, okay? When we start to implement AI into these bodies, we start to lose that ability to ascend, okay, for our ascension process, to turn on our DNA and to tap into that pure divinity. We're just getting started with this. So AI is a way for the darker forces to literally hijack your ascension process, okay? And that can be through Neuralink chips. This can be through all kinds of different injectables that they're going to be bringing onto the market, and they're gonna be marketing this stuff in a very sexy way. And what Greg talks about here is literally by the year 2030, that's 5 years away. Time is flying, that is not long at all. We're either gonna have awakened to the truth of our unlimited human potential, right? This is us really understanding what I've been teaching about ascension, our DNA turning on, are these superpowers, us living for very long lives, healthy, pure humans, connected to the divine, right? Open, heart-centered, love, compassion, unity consciousness, Christ consciousness. This is where we're going, okay? Or we're gonna fall victim for this very sexy marketing that's coming up for the Neuralink chips, right? And all these injectables that they're gonna be putting into the bodies, which is going to make it so that they are not able to reach that ascension point. And I found this so powerful. Human divinity is defined as the ability to transcend our perceived limitations, to become more than the limits that we've accepted for ourselves in the past. That is so powerful, right? Our limiting beliefs, right, that keep us in this box. We are transcending out of that, and it's so powerful. I know for Melissa and I, when we really tapped into our human design and our gene keys, it really was like this blueprint that showed us what we're here to do, what are our shadows, where can we find our gifts, where can we find our cities, our superpowers, right? It's all there in your human design and your gene keys. And that has been just a revelation for Melissa and I. So we put this into our Awakened Health Academy because we are here to support light leaders. You, the Wayshowers, the ones that know you're here to help shift this planet. If you need help and support with that, this is why we created the Awakened Health Academy. I'll put a link in the comments here so you can check that out if you want support and want to start to step into your truest, highest potential. Okay? I'm sending you guys so much love.